Hello and welcome to my monthly view on how I see the market. This is based on the call tracking data we get from thousands of automotive retail clients and also from talking amongst my customers and other people in the trade to see how they see the market. So what I'm showing you now is a summary of all of these points. So how do we see the market at the moment? The first excitement is plate change has arrived. I haven't been able to say that for the last 3 years because it's been such a damn squid, purely because there hasn't been availability of new car stock. However, with the plate change arriving, there is availability of stock, and if you whisper it, you hear it whispered quietly across the industry, the pre-registration dragon has awoken from its slumbers. There is definitely excess stock in certain brands and certain vehicle types, and dealers are being forced to pre-register. This will only get worse as the factories come up to more normal production levels. So we're starting to go back to a normal market. But the challenge is EVs. This is actually going to get worse. And this is down to a number of factors. Private demand is down, whilst there's plenty of stock coming through. And the demand is down because people have started getting worried about it due to the negative publicity on lack of charge points. But what is keeping EVs buoyant, to an extent, is the fleet and business sales due to the unbelievably advantageous tax benefits of EVs over other vehicle types. But even if there's some buoyancy from the fleet and business side, EVs only represent 16% of total sales in the United Kingdom at the current time. So it's not actually a very big market. So if manufacturers are producing a large amount of EVs so they don't have to pay fines, we will see more and more excess EV stock coming into the market, especially being pre-registered. This will create shocks and all the way down the used car prices. And we believe that used car prices for EVs will continue to fall. And they'll probably need to get to a level where they're below their ICE equivalent. So that definitely needs to be watched. However, the good news is the overall used car market will still continue to be strong due to the 3 years shortage caused by COVID. So let's start by looking at how we see total stock on Auto Trader. For those of you who aren't aware of it, for the last 5 years, I have been keeping the total level of stock from Auto Trader and also the sub 1 year park and the 1 to 2 year park. So I'm going to go through all of these slides. As we can see, if 2019 was what we could call a normal month, then the stock levels are pretty much subdued and very much where they were in 2022 and 2020. 2021 is when you're seeing a lot of cars will be sold in that boom time after COVID. So really the market, not a lot to say about the total amount of stock. It's pretty much the market, overall market is feeling pretty okay. If we look at the sub 1 year stock on Auto Trader, then you can start to see that again, month by month, it is rising, so it's similar to 2020 and 2021 levels, but it's still a long way from 2019. It's only 20,000, so it's nearly 50% less than that, which is one of the reasons why it supports my hypothesis that used cars sales will continue well. What's going to be interesting is if pre-registration is starting to come through. Let's see how quickly this starts to move. September, October, November, because that will start to flow through. If we look at the 1 to 2 year stock on Auto Trader, that is pretty much flatlining in where the market is, which again supports my hypothesis that the market will continue to be good and strong for the used vehicles. Where we'll start to see this probably affect is the beginning of next year rather than at the moment. So in summary, how do we see the overall market? Well, August was what my children, using their awful slang, was what they call a meh month. It was nothing to write home about, not particularly interesting. it did what August does. Can't really get overexcited about it, to be honest. However, the excitement is it's all to play for in September. We've got stock available. There's going to be new cars around. You're going to see some really interesting deals with 0% finance, etc. And you'll also going to continue seeing this pressure on EVs and EV pricing and EV residuals. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see some extraordinary behaviours by one or two of the EV manufacturers as they start to bring in interesting deals. What does this all mean for you and your business? Well, I might say this every month, but because I see so much data across our customers, watch the management of your used car sales leads. If the new car market starts to increase, and which we fundamentally believe it will do, and you're seeing a lot of demand, there's going to be a lot of exciting handovers and that going on, and people will drop the ball on the used car market, especially on the telephone. We know that 60% of used inquiries come via the phone, and if people are doing new car leads which are more inclined to be walk-ins, then they won't have time to answer those inquiries. And those lead management systems are great for form fills, but not for good for recording phone inquiries. Then you really need to be on top of how your team's performing. This is also exacerbated by there's been quite a lot of new people coming into the automotive trade and the sales side who have not necessarily been properly phone trained. And so, again, they're not phone fit, and they all take form fills before they actually take the phone side. So those dealers who are doing well and are enjoying a good time are those who've really got on top of what they're doing with their telephone calls. So have a fantastic plate change this month, and I look forward to next month's video. Till then, goodbye.